Alright, so I'm working on my Dirt Devil Ultra Vision Turbo here. It just hasn't gotten any love or attention from me at all. So today I'm giving it some lovin's. In the process I broke the brush roll, but that's besides the point. I tore it down to the motor. Well, the brush roll is okay for now. I haven't actually tested to see if it's going to be a chainsaw or not, but otherwise I have a brush roll in my cart on my iPad in case this thing explodes. The brush roll anyways. I even polished the handle, the metal part, because that is a metal handle with a chrome plating on it, so I polished that. Could be bare metal, but it looks more chromey-ish to me. Cleaned everything up and then put a fresh coat of quick wax on there. So this main part of the machine is done. I also just, for shits and giggles, I probably won't be able to see, but I used a Sharpie and just made, it's already wearing off, but I just did the lettering black and this part black, just because this is broken anyways. As you can see. Yeah, there's a lot of, there was a lot of attempts going into making this bit of work. The main problem, which I guess I've never actually showed you guys, is this piece broke on this side. So I tried using a screw to fix it, and that didn't work. So oh dear. You have to put it in at a certain angle. I had the spring there because that was the main problem, is there was no spring to pop it back up. So I used my own spring, glued it in. Whatever that glue is that I used is insane. I cannot pull that spring off. I even used pliers. Although the spring does at least make it to the point where this is at least a little spring loaded. Push that back. Okay. This has the electrical tape on the wheels. I always do that on older vacuums because it kind of gives the wheels a little bit of a cushion so that they won't crack. The attachments on this thing came from my friend Andrew, who also sold me the Bissell 6594 up there, but I had mentioned some things that he did, and he surprised me by sending this turbo brush, this crevice tool, this extension one, this dusting brush, which are all what belongs on this machine. They were most likely from an M-Vision, because those were more common. But yeah, these are all original Dirt Devil attachments, and the turbo brush is actually in great condition. And this brush is a little worn out, but I mean, it at least has a full set of attachments, so I'm not going to complain. I did take it down to the motor. There was nothing in there. Literally, a lot of people talk shit about these non-cyclonic, non-cyclonic machines, or there's a filter right in the bin like that, but they tend to not have as much motor damage. The companies that were trying to make all kinds of these funky Cyclone designs, like that, or that, or that, are not too good. The only one that was able to accomplish it back in the day was Dyson. Now, vacuum brands are doing a better job, but even my Hoover Power Max Pet there already has dust going by that Cyclone, and once it gets to the filter, those newer Hoover filters are shit, so stuff goes through them easily. That's why this thing will probably outlast any newer Shark or Hoover or Bissell. This is an 05. This is an 05. That 6594 is an 04. That Eureka Victory is a 97. This is an 04. That Empower. That Victory there is a 95. That Caddyvac's like a 2000. And then this Power Speed's like 2019, so we'll see how long that piece of shit lasts. I also got a Clean View there, a newer one that I haven't finished yet. Whirlwind. Which I guess I could show you guys later on, but I just got really scammed over on it, so I didn't end up wanting to do a video on it. It's already been torn down to the motor, cleaned up. I haven't actually tested to see if it runs after me taking it all apart, so. But yeah, I'm working on this because it hasn't gotten much attention. I paid $70 for this. It was 60 bucks, and I guess more like 74-ish, because I think it was like $14 shipping. And it was from Intelitech Studios. I'm assuming some of the people who watch this watch him. I did try and clean that up as best as I could. This hose is actually still in very good condition, which is nice because they're Well, my friend, one of my other vacuum friends, tried getting me, he's like, oh yeah, you can just pull this right off here, which you can, but mine kind of got a little stretched out in the process, because he's supposed to be more like that, and it kind of got stretched out. There's a seal right here, a nice rubber seal, which you can take out and clean if need be. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out. But yeah, I took it down to the motor. Can you see in there? Nothing. Took it down to the motor, cleaned everything out in there. I'm gonna have to try and find a way to clean these vents. There is, once anything that gets past that filter, which isn't much, just gets released right out of here. These don't have anything to them. They're very simple machines. I just liked it because of the blue, and you know, just the nice, stylish things that they did to these machines. I just thought it was a nice looking machine. I mean, the metal handle kind of throws some of the people who own one of these off. I mean, it is kind of ugly. I mean, you have this nice machine and then just a random sanitaire handle out of nowhere. But it's still a little more appealing than that Shark, I would say. Even this V2 is like just the stylish, you know, the fact that Hoover tried to put some effort into it, you know, is what I like about it. Same with this Dirt Devil. They tried doing something interesting with it. I don't know what's supposed to be here. I believe on some of the self-propelled models, there was like a dial right here or something, and I think that's just a patch for that, because this is newer. Because my friend who tried getting me to pull that off, he has a self-propelled one. It's like a dark green with a metallic, just like this. This has a very nice quality hose. Same with this V2, as a matter of fact, it kind of feels like the same hose, but honestly, this Dirt Devil one's better. Unfortunately, it just has snap-in wheels. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they don't wiggle around much at all. Like, now you see my feet. They have no movement. Well, they have a little bit, but not much. I mean, if you compare it to V2. This, I actually wet sanded the end of the axles, greased them up so they're nice and smooth, because this actually has axles. They don't just clip in. These, there's no point in greasing them, because what are you supposed to grease? They just clip into the base. There's no axles. Power button. Definitely feels like an old school machine. Try and clean up the... I'm not being too thorough with it, just trying to, you know, clean it up a little bit. Nothing too major. I took it down to the motor just because I did use this for like a month straight as a daily driver, and then I didn't do anything with it, and I just stashed it in the back of my collection, and just today I dug it out to clean it finally. There was nothing in the motor though, which just proves that you can use one. If you don't want to buy a new vacuum, go get one of these older Dirt Devils. They're freaking indestructible. A lot of people thought they were cheesy, a lot of people thought they were good. Personally, I think these were more heavy duty than, say, that Eureka Whirlwind from around the same time, or that Bissell Power Groom from around the same time. Or no, that Power Groom's way newer, and it's not holding up nearly as well. I mean, it is now. That Power Groom looks like it's held up well, but that's because I've put like $40 into it. This Ultravision, all I had to do, the brush was fine, it just sounds a little rough, so I was going to repack the bearings, but honestly, it would live just fine without doing that. I just wanted it to sound nicer, because it does have kind of a groany sound from the brush roll. So I tried popping it apart and I broke one of the end caps, but I was actually able to kind of make it work. But yeah, but although the light bulb is probably the original one, I don't know. I've never even had this plate off because I don't have a screwdriver that'll fit in there. Here's Phillips head, and it won't fit in there. So, I don't know. I think I have a small Phillips head right there. I wonder if that one will fit just perfectly. But yeah, you can see in here I cleaned up just a little bit. I hate cleaning stuff with these ridges. Nice, like mesh rubber seal. It's actually not that heavy. It's actually a very light machine. A lot of people thought these were big, bulky, stupid machines, but in my opinion, it's definitely lighter than this. Lighter than my Power Max, lighter than the M-Power. Way lighter than, well, maybe not lighter than the Whirlwind. I mean, I don't know, because that Whirlwind's actually got some weight to it. What do you guys think? Look how nice that bin turned out. I actually took the whole Cyclone assembly out of it to clean that Cyclone assembly nice. Most of the cyclonic action goes on up in that gray piece there. But, it actually cleaned up pretty nice, I gotta say. I'm actually very excited to own this, finally. It does have the deluxe hose on it, not one of the, like this. This is the one that I got from Vacuums and Carpet Cleaner Guy. This one came from a junkyard. This hose used to be long and floppy, just like this one. So what I did is I just cut some of the hose off and then reattached it there. Now it's more tidy with the machine. Whoa. Cat spazzing out. Yeah, I guess I'm not even really talking. We need to get to work on this thing. So, yes, I do have shorts on. I hate it when, like, I film and it looks like I'm naked. Don't worry, I have shorts on. That would be really disgusting. But yeah, so, I'm just gonna, I keep wanting to buff it more and more. I always tend to do that when I use that wax. The more you buff it, the better it looks. I really like this machine. I got the attachments for free, technically. Andrew also sent me this Wind Tunnel V2, Savvy, Dual V, whatever, thing that turns it into a bagged vacuum, which is actually kind of nice. So he gave me this, all the attachments for this, a bunch of Eureka style F&J bags for like Eureka ASP. Yishen, enough! Good boy. And so yeah, what else did he give me? Oh, well, and I bought the $65.94 from him. And he said, oh yeah, I'm getting rid of all this stuff. So he's like, well, I'm not gonna give it to you for free, and then next thing you know, I'm unboxing the box and it's all in there. And he never even mentioned that he tossed it in there for me. So yeah. So I only paid $35 for that Bissell itself, plus $15 shipping. So yeah, could definitely stand to thank him, which I already did, but I really need to clean up underneath this bumper. I don't know how to take the bumper off, but it would really help if I knew how, because it's really dirty under there. But we're just going to leave the bumper on there to hide the dirt. So we got to clean this. We need to clean the bin. I never wash my bins. It's pointless. If they're ones like this where you can easily just wipe them out. And honestly, washing them, depending on where you live and what the quality of your water is, at least my water, it's not that good. So, unless I used our drinking water, which would be quite spendy. I hate when these sprayers malfunction. And then we'll also go ahead and polish this bin. Maybe. I might not. Definitely stand it. It's got like a yellowish tint over here. I don't know what's up with that. Like something clearly happened to this thing. I don't know where I put my Neverdoll. That's why I don't know if I'm going to polish this or not, because that's my favorite polish, is Neverdoll. I don't know what I did with it. Just let that soak for a second. Yeah, I don't know where my Neverdoll is. I could use just some standard turtle wax polish. Not gonna look as good. Use the polish when it's still wet, then you won't put any scratches in it. Don't use too much polish, just enough to kind of clean it up the look a little bit. Ugh. I just spilled it all over me. Gross. Alright, and then spray that again. Jen! Yeah, believe it or not, cats can actually have a really, really, really bad anxiety. Wish I would have known that when I first got him. No, I would have gotten him either way. Cats deserve homes. So do dogs. I'm just more partial to cats. I just don't like dogs that much. I love other people's dogs, but I would never own one. I would never want to deal with a dog. I know that sounds kind of depressing, but just the few dogs that I've experienced, I like hanging out with them, but eventually the way they lick you a bunch, and you know, some dogs are different, I know, but at least every single dog that I've experienced, someone's tweedling me. Okay, and then you grab a fresh rag. These are very nice microfiber cloths considering they came from the Dollar General, which the Dollar General doesn't necessarily mean everything is $1, it's just a lot of it's cheap. So they call it the Dollar General. Got rid of some of that yellowish tint. I think over time it'll kind of wear off. So now we'll go ahead and, where's my quick whack? There it is. And this is what's going to really make it look good. If I could find my Neverdoll, it would look really, really good. But I can't find it, so. Why do people keep tweedling me? Alright. It's about as good as it's gonna get. Definitely didn't turn out too good, but it's alright. Yeah, this filter could definitely use a little bit of TLC. I hate it when people just sit there and text me. Oh god, I sound like such a dick. I hope my girlfriend's not watching this video because that's her ringtone. Where is the Oh my god. For real though? Grace, stop. Ugh. We're gonna go ahead and just do this maneuver. Oh god. Oh, this is bad. This is why they designed cyclones. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh dear me. Now it's getting on the machine. I'm gonna need to plug in another vacuum to finish. What vacuum shall that be? Oh, friggin', we'll just use this thing. We'll do this maneuver. Was quite the decent vacuum for that. Oh wow, that thing grooms the carpet really well. Wow. It's surprising. I haven't used it in a while, so. Well, last time I used it was when I did that horrible deep clean test. Now what? Oh yeah, we gotta finish the bin. So there's how it looks with the filter in it. I feel like that polish might have made it worse, not gonna lie. Well, that's what it's designed for. My Never Doll would make it look good. Just don't know where I put it. Clean up this hat. This piece of turd's actually done. Let's see how bad that brush will sound now that I've broken it. I'm going to disconnect the hose so that it doesn't get all dirty up, because I didn't clean the hose. See if the light bulb still works. I didn't run it before I started cleaning it, so. Actually seen some dirt devils, if you put your hand on the suction, it'll actually pull this switch down. It does have one little damage in the cord here, but I did a very good job patching it up, actually. What I did is used glue, wrapped toilet paper around it as insulation, then zip ties, and then electrical tape. So you are not getting electrocuted through this. Electrical tape does not stop electric current. So, you know, a lot of people think, oh, bare wire, toss some electrical tape on it. No. Electrical cannot travel through toilet paper that easily, though. It still can, but not that easily. So I use toilet paper as homemade insulation. You can see the cord is more chewed up right here. This is a model 087800. And can't really see the MFG code, but what you can see is 050, and the two middle numbers are your year, and I see 05, which indicates it was made in 2005. So it is newer than the 6594. It's newer than this Whirlwind. So, yeah, my broken brush roll doesn't appear to be affecting how this piece of junk sounds too much yet. So, there we go. That one's done. I don't know where I'm going to put it. When I took it out, I kind of put the newer, crappier dirt devil in its place. So we'll toss it right there for now. And yeah, this Whirlwind is actually heavier. Like, Yeah, the Whirlwind is literally heavier, guys. It's not right. No, that's not good. That's not. Like, what the heck? Why is this heavier? So, since I didn't show you guys this thing, because I could give you a little run through now, I did tear it down to the motor, clean it all out. Now, one thing I did discover is this is actually a Eureka Victory chassis, besides, or more of a Eureka EnviroVac chassis, because it even still has the holes for the tabs on a bag door. Those aren't there on this. The only tab there is right here. This all got cleaned out. Needs new filters still. And I don't know what Eureka was thinking when they made this, but figured some people don't really know how these work. But this seals up to here. Suction travels from here up through the back of the machine. Not that, that's the HEPA filter, but just through, behind this bin is where the suction is while this thing's running. And then it goes through this filter, and then your cyclonic action happens. There is a bunch of different holes here. Just a bunch of different holes for a bunch of random things. And up in here is actually where all the cyclonic action happens. So, it's kind of weird, but that's just kind of how it works. So, yeah. Very interesting, intuitive design. So if your seal here is bad, this thing's not going to work at all. So, realistically speaking, I actually got a really good deal on this, originally. It was $20. Why isn't that sealing? Weird. Headlights burnt out. Does have a new belt on it. I did re-grease the brush roll. It's missing that. So it was supposed to only be $20, which would have been an amazing deal for a Eureka Whirlwind. I mean, let's be honest, just about every vacuum collector currently maybe won't admit it, but oh my god, lots of vacuum collectors want one of these in their collection. Because not everyone collects Kirby's and Sanitaires and Hoover convertibles and Eureka ESPs. Some people actually do like these older plastic units. So, and also disconnect the hose. For this, I didn't wash the hose, which I probably will in the future. Not like it ever really makes a difference anyways. Once these hoses get dirty, they're never clean again. Didn't come with any attachments, but it's still $20. It functions. It's a decent deal. But it turned into $90 because the person I bought it from completely failed when shipping it, and they didn't pay for the shipping. Now, it was also the post office's fault for falling for this kid's bullshit. So yeah. So cleaning out the motor didn't really help its loudness, but I couldn't clean the motor very well because there's a plastic housing around the motor itself. So yeah, not this plastic housing, but this thing, the motor has its own plastic housing. As a matter of fact, you can see the motor's plastic housing right there, and you can actually see the armature frame. There's the HEPA filter. I vacuumed it out with my Eureka Lightspeed. Oh yeah, that wasn't mentioned in the listing. cartridge is broken. Probably try gluing that, but for now, you just have to pop that up manually. Normally it would be spring-loaded. I just decided to hook up the hose because it got dusty anyways from pulling stuff up from in here. Because yeah, this is where all your cyclonic action actually happens, is up in here. And then it also kind of tornadoes through that thing. So I believe any like actual dirt is supposed to end up over here, and well, grit is supposed to fall through all those holes. And then your fuzzies and fines should end up over here. That's what I gather. Let's see how dirty it already is behind here, so you guys can get an idea of how these work. Oh yeah. So yeah, the dust actually travels behind here. It, like, from literally this whole back space is just taken up by suction. So that's why you need that seal to be intact, because your suction travels up. That's why that's angled like that, is to come up through here and into there. A lot of people think it runs through the spine of the machine, but no, it just runs through back here. Back behind the bin, not through the actual machine chassis. So very horrible design, but I guess it is kind of interesting. And it does actually function, kind of. Not very well, but it does function. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and give this thing a run. So, to let you know, it is not the brush hole making all that noise, sadly. It is indeed the motor. But most of these whirlwinds do sound bad. And it's actually not due to the motor itself being bad, it's the fan. These fans, the quality control on these machines was really bad, at least motor-wise. Because otherwise, it's actually pretty solid. Like, there's no flex. Like, my hand loses grip before anything happens, which nothing does happen. I mean, if you compare it to a Bissell, which is very soft, not very sturdy, same with that, or these newer Hoovers, which, for this clean view, which isn't bad, it's more or less just creaky. This Eureka, also you cannot flex at all, it just creaks. This Eureka, it's not too bad. These older Hoovers, you cannot at all. This Dirt Devil, the one just wiggles little. This Hoover, which is a newer Hoover, isn't too bad. Kirby's actually have quite a bit of flex in them. But this has nothing. That is actually a very sturdy machine. Pretty decent quality hose, actually. You can see the way these things work. Just, they get destroyed instantly, and that's just how they function. That's after one use right there, keep in mind. So that's why you don't want to use these too often, guys. Don't get, if you have one of these, don't use it. I mean, you can use it every now and then, but the amount that I just used it, you're going to want to clean it afterwards. Wow, look how much it actually picked up, though. Picked up on carpet powder. Which makes you wonder how it would do in the deep clean test, but it's going to have to be, at least this bin assembly is going to have to be cleaned again. Which actually I didn't mind doing. You do have to take out a couple screws to get the whole Cyclone assembly out, but I'll probably just use the air compressor. See how nasty it is back in here now. Just a horrible design, it really is. Oh yeah. I think my problem is the yeah, this is just miserably bad. I mean, look how much. Whew. Yeah, it's not good. Not good, not good, not good. Luckily, most of it just gets exhausted right away. But yeah, this filter needs to be replaced. This filter back here is just not sealing very well. Yeah, it's very funky how these things work. Because yeah, whatever doesn't get filtered in these silly Cyclones, and up in here, whatever doesn't make it and, you know, get diluted into the two chambers very well, goes into there. And you can see how dirty it is up in there, because, and look how clean this is, or how clean that is. So, but they tried. I gotta give them props for just trying something new. You know, this was around the time when Eureka was kind of the budget. Eureka and Dyson were actually at competition there for a little while. Obviously, one of them was winning, and that was definitely Eureka. No, I'm kidding. Dyson was definitely winning. But around the time that Dysons were being made, people were still kind of a little weirded out by the fact that it was a bagless machine. So Eureka wanted to kind of make the bagless technology popular, so they also started doing this. So it was actually Dyson, then Eureka. You know, some people claim that Dyson wasn't the first to do bagless. They were, so. And he also invented that beautiful Cyclone design that they have. No other company was able to master it. I mean, look at this failed attempt. I mean, it is kind of cool that it functions at all. I mean, fine stuff is clearly over here. You can see all that fuzz and just fine dust. And then over here, you've got some grit, some fuzz. So the function of it works. It just doesn't work that well. The main idea is functioning. The cord's in good shape. So yeah, it's going to be for collection use only. I don't plan to hold on to it for very long. So yeah, if you take your bin out and you see a lot of dust behind it, that's actually where, if any dust gets by that filter, that's where it's going to go, is behind and then go into your motor, or your pre-motor filter. So that's why you got to make sure you have both filters in place. So, I mean, yeah, it's a piece of junk, but, I mean, take a look at it, and, I mean, just be like, wow, it was still an attempt at a Cyclone technology. So was the Silver Empower, honestly. Well, that wasn't really cyclonic action. That was more just trying to create some kind of separator system, which this actually works way better than this Whirlwind here. Out of the Bissell attempt, Eureka's failed attempts, Dirt Devil's attempts, these twin chamber systems were the best. And then second would be the Dirt Devils, third would be the Bissells, fourth would be these. Fourth would be Eureka's in general, because, I mean, this was a horrible design. This was a horrible design. Although Eureka kind of copied Bissell with theirs, you know, if you looked into one of those just a little bit more, you kind of see that they copied Bissell a little bit. So, yeah. But Whirlwind functions. It's still a cool machine to have around. Just gonna clean it again now. Probably wash the hose for the second cleaning. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Peace.